Hey everyone, and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video, we will be talking about the 2022 Kansas gubernatorial election. The Democrat Laura Kelly is running for a second term against Republican Derek Schmidt. As I said, she is the incumbent. She was elected in 2018. Somewhat of an upset, and we'll get to this race, everything about it, and who I think will win this race at the end of this video. This video is solely about the 2022 Kansas gubernatorial election. So, as I said, going back to 2018, the Republican Kris Kobach was extremely far right, okay? Especially on his immigration policy. He was really, really out there. And Kansas Republicans are some of the most moderate in the country. Just Kansas voters in general, really. If we're looking at the ballot initiative that took place earlier this year, during the summer of this year, the question was, should Kansas allow abortion? Until a certain point, and while a lot of people were expecting the no to pass, yes, the pro-choice measure won by like 15% or something crazy. It won by a huge margin. So that just does show you how bipartisan and how much Kansas voters can split the ticket. So, looking at 2018, because Kris Kobach was so out there, he lost. And not even by a tilt margin or a lean margin. It was by a likely margin. He lost by 5%. And Kansas got a Democratic governor, while 4 years earlier, wow, that was actually really close. I didn't know that. The Republican won by 3. Geez, that's interesting. But now we're on to 2022. And if you remember, another thing that resulted in Laura Kelly winning was the fact that 2018 was a blue wave year. We have to remember that. 2018, Democrats were favored across the country because Donald Trump was the president. Donald Trump was extremely unpopular. People across the country hated Trump. We saw Democrats almost win the Senate and, flip, 40 seats in the House and win control of the House. So a lot of things resulted in Laura Kelly winning in 2018. But 2022 is a different year now. The president, Biden, is a Democrat and he is unpopular. Kansas in 2020 went to Donald Trump by 14%. We were talking about how in 2016. Yeah, we're talking about 2014. We're talking about how in 2014 the Republican won by 3. Well, and and then Laura Kelly won by 5, so that's a shift of 8%. But now, in 2022, Donald Trump won in 2020 by 14%. If it goes to Laura Kelly by 1%, that is a 15% shift rather than an 8-point shift in 2018. So the point is that it's going to be way harder for Laura Kelly to win in 2022. For that reason, along with the fact that Kris Kobach is not running again. It's Derek Schmidt, the Attorney General, who is a typical Republican, someone that I could definitely see being a governor. He's pretty boring, a typical conservative for the Midwest. Kris Kobach only lost because he was so extreme. Derek Schmidt might be a conservative, that's no doubt, but he is not nearly as extreme and far right and anti-immigration as Kris Kobach was. So, Derek Schmidt definitely has a better shot than Kris Kobach, and Laura Kelly, 2022 Laura Kelly definitely has a lower chance of winning now than she did in 2018. However, this is my prediction, this is important here, and of course this isn't the end of the video, but I believe that Laura Kelly will win by a tilt margin. If you've seen my videos for a while, you know that I've kept Kansas tilt red for a while now. I definitely had it tilt Democrat for, at some point. But I really have had it tilt red for a while. And in my most recent election night, I switched my prediction from tilt red to tilt blue, and I do believe that Laura Kelly will win. Reviewing the few polls that have been conducted, and really reviewing everything else, and looking at Laura Kelly's approval rating, we have to remember that Laura Kelly is one of the most popular Democratic governors in America. That says something. You know, she is more popular than governors like Dan McKee or Kathy Hochul, who are governors in safe blue states. No, she is a governor, she is a Democratic governor in a safe red state, and she is beating Dan McKee, Kathy Hochul, Kate Brown, Jay Inslee, the Michelle Lujan Grisham, all these safe blue state governors. She is beating them when it comes to approval rating. That just shows you how approved Laura Kelly is in the state of Kansas, and how she could be a good electoral candidate. I mean, she is approved of in her state. So she will have a lot of voters, of course, from her party, but a lot of independent voters going her way as well. Looking at 538, no, never mind. Looking at polls alone, there have been so few polls that it really is upsetting. The only big poll that has polled this, there's really two, Ecoline Insights, which can't be totally trusted. They're not, an A+ rated pollster. However, I do believe that this is pretty accurate, 45 to 43. It will be pretty close. But Emerson College recently polled this race, and this is what we are going to mainly use. They just polled it, I don't know how many days ago, 8 days ago. They did two polls. Laura Kelly up by 3, Laura Kelly up by 5. In both of her polls, it showed Laura Kelly up. And I know polls aren't the best thing to predict elections, but we can see how Derek Schmidt was up this whole time. But new polls came out, and Laura Kelly has taken the lead. Looking at 538, 538 shows Kelly up by 5%. That's big, because I really do think that 538 is really out there on their predictions. A lot of times really favoring Republicans, sometimes really favoring Democrats. But it definitely says something that a website like 538 has Laura Kelly up by 5. I would think that a website like 538 would have Schmidt leading, if I'm being totally honest. But looking at everything recently coming out, I believe that Laura Kelly might just be able to pull out a very narrow win. Again, by tilt margin. I could see her winning by 0.5, 0.3, something like that, percent. So thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Great videos. Make sure to vote. This is election eve. We're on the eve of Election Day Eve. Pretty insane. I'm going to do a live stream on Election Day before the results. Not live results, just before the results. Just to talk about everything. And I hope you're there. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you all next time. But yeah.